International Radio Network, and this hour is dedicated to Green is Cool with Verhaen Khanna.
Here we go now. Afternoons with Annie.
On Green is Cool today, I'm in conversation with someone I had this chat with a while ago, at least I think a year and a half, 2 years ago. And he's been someone who has been teaching people back in Delhi and many other parts of the northern region of our country to hug trees. I loved that thought. I was completely sold. I said, wow, that's really nice. I'm talking about Verhaen Khanna, all the way from New Delhi. In fact, he is part of the New Delhi Nature Society. Verhaen, so nice to have you on the show.
Hi, Annie. Thank you for having me on the show. It's great to hear your voice again. And I love listening to your show.
Thank you so much. Can you say that again?
Yeah, I love listening to your show. I'm sure it brightens up every listener's day, so it's great to hear from you all the time.
Thank you so much, Verhaen. Now, I know when we first spoke about you told me your love for trees, your love for nature, your love for environment, and you decided to just give up everything else you were doing, a proper corporate job and having other things to do, to follow what your heart was saying and where it took you, really. And that's how New Delhi Nature Society was formed. And there are these newsletters that gives everybody an update on the workshops you do. And I believe in the past year or so, there is a lot more you have done in terms of making people aware and bringing them closer to nature, bring them closer to the awareness about our environment. So tell us about a few workshops that you've done lately.
So we've been doing some nature walks. We've been doing some arts and crafts also out of waste materials.
Oh, nice.
In November and December, I did 2 TEDx talks also. So that was about trees and the environment, and how we can save the fallen trees also.
Right. Speaking of fallen trees, I remember we had this conversation in the past also. I mean, it's not just about planting trees, but you need to know where to plant them. And you need to have a team of people who work with you on it. You're one such team, who's kind of exploring the green zones of Delhi and other areas. You're teaching children as well as adults alike about the importance of trees and tree plantation. So when you say that the ones that have been cut out can be saved, what do you mean? It's something I would love to know when we come back on the other side, so don't go anywhere. This is Afternoons with Annie. I'm in conversation with Verhaen Khanna of the New Delhi Nature Society. Stay tuned. I Feel Like Dancing by Jason Mraz from Mystical, Magical, Rhythmical, Radical Ride. Coming up next.
This June, Radio 1 welcomes one of music's most celebrated performers as our Artist of the Month.
Conversation with Verhaen Khanna.
Here we go now. Afternoons with Annie.
On the show with me today on Green is Cool, Verhaen Khanna of NDNS. You should look it up. It's www.ndns.in, where you will find everything that they do with children, the workshops they do, the kind of work that they have achieved so far with thousands and thousands of people who are showing interest in learning more about nature and environment. So when you say that we can save the trees that have been cut off, what do you mean, Verhaen?
I mean the trees which are falling down in the storms. So those can be put straight back into the original place, and we can save those trees. They can live for another few decades. So there's a process how to do it. And we've put the standard operating procedure document on our website. Plus, even the court has seen this document and told the different departments to have a look at it so that they can also think about saving a fallen tree before thinking about chopping it down.
That's lovely. That is amazing indeed. So there is a standard procedure that one can follow from whichever part of the world or in the country they are by just looking up this content that you have put up on ndns.in, right?
Right.
And you're also available for consultation.
Yeah, people from all over the city, all over the country also, they keep calling me or sending me messages or emails. Random people, they just see a fallen tree and they check online, so they find out about how we've been saving the fallen trees. So I guide them, I show them pictures, I make drawings on the pictures which they send me so that they can understand how they can save the fallen trees. And we've had a lot of success from many different places, and it's like once you once you do this, then you'll always keep looking for other possibilities to save fallen trees.
Absolutely. I mean, you make it sound so easy, but I'm sure there's a whole lot of work. When you're saying that you're also working online with people across the country, they're sending you posts or they're sending you pictures or they're drawing it themselves. You are doing the job. That is like, I think you're not free at all. Do you get time for yourself? Or this is like 24/7 because any fallen tree can be found anywhere and any time of
day.
Yeah,
when there's a storm, so I wake up in the morning and there are so many messages from different parts of the city, and everyone's saying that, oh, there's a tree fallen here, my grandmom planted this tree, now it's fallen, how do I save it? So like this, I can't be everywhere at the same time, so I can just guide people on messages, and I send them the videos and pictures which from our past experiences, and looking at those, people are able to engage more people around themselves and manage to save the trees.
Oh, that's lovely. I want to understand a little more about your love for trees, the way you get people to hug trees, and the response you have received from people who've been learning about whether it is looking into fallen trees and putting them back, restoring them, or even saving trees, for that matter, from being cut in the first place. Don't go anywhere. This is Afternoons with Annie Verhaen Khanna of ndns.in. That's what you've got to look up. New Delhi Nature Society. This is Green School on Afternoons with Annie. Stay tuned.
Chemical by Post Malone, right after the ad break. It's Breaking Point. I'm in conversation with the founder of New Delhi Nature Society, a man who's been teaching people to love and hug trees, Verhaen Khanna.
Here we go now.
Afternoons with Annie.
On Greener School with Verhaen Khanna of New Delhi Nature Society, they also have a newsletter where they keep updating about the workshops and the kind of awareness activities that they conduct every single day. Verhaen, when you started teaching children and adults alike to, hug trees, what was that like? What is the first reaction like?
The main reason why we did this is so that people have a good experience with trees and then they will want to save it. So hugging trees is a good experience, climbing trees is a good experience, even identifying trees and noticing the flowers, learning their names. These are all like positive experiences which will, after you have these experiences, you'll want to save those trees.
Right.
So when people started hugging the trees, they felt like they're hugging their friends or their relatives, and it feels good. It feels like you're being taken care of, because those trees are actually there for decades, and they just keep giving, and people just keep enjoying the benefits of the trees by sitting under it, enjoying the shade or the oxygen or different things. Even the wildlife is enjoying the fruits. So the trees are they just keep giving, and if you spend some time under the trees, so many wise people have become wise by spending time under the trees. So
Absolutely.
if we can just spend some time, there are some good examples out there. So you should try this practice sometime and spend some time under a tree, and you'll feel different after that.
Sure. When we say that we want to save trees, essentially, Verhaen, what are we really doing?
We are ensuring a better future for ourselves and the future generations, because it's where entire life starts from. So if you have trees over there, certainly you'll have everything else in the food cycle. So trees are the main key, and you have to have trees around yourself so that you can have a fulfilling life.
Right.
Because it also affects your mood, affects your energy. If you're ever in a bad mood or something, you can go spend some time around nature. There's a saying that you can't be in the forest and in a bad mood at the same time.
Right.
And there's a Japanese term also, Shinrin Yoku, where people go for forest bathing. That's why spending time in the forest, you get the energy of the forest, and that's healing energy which makes you feel better.
That is so nice. That is so nice. And it is true.
It's come from people's personal experiences. So that's the proper feedback which is coming.
Right. So this is what people feel. But even scientifically speaking, the reason we keep talking about trees is because, yes, it's somewhere where, it's a very, very, very crucial part and role that it has to play in the food cycle as well as life cycle of us too. I mean, humans included, not just the animals and bees that we need around us, because that is what is part of that food cycle. And if we do not have trees, then we are disrupting the food cycle, which in turn will disrupt ours. So we really need the trees more than the trees needing us. So I think that's really the key, and that is why it's important for us to understand nature around us, environment, the importance, and where we actually are a very minuscule part, really, of the planet.
Heart in It by Tiesto and Charlie XCX from the album Drive, coming up right after the ad break.
This week.
Verhaen Khanna.
We go now. Afternoons with Annie.
Verhaen Khanna of the New Delhi Nature Society, and that's something you should look up. newdelhinaturesociety.in is the website, where all the updates about awareness activities, environment activities, fun activities with children as well as adults is done at the NDNS, which is run by Verhaen Khanna. Verhaen, speaking of some workshops that you may have planned now, it's the season of rains. It's also a good time to understand more about trees, because it's also a time to plant more trees, and they flourish during the season. So can you tell us about a few things that you may have lined up?
Yeah, this is the best season to plant trees because you have to water it less. The soil is moist. It's raining everywhere, and the plants get good rooting at this time. For this month we had planned some summer camp for young children from 7 to 12, and it's a 5-day summer camp. So 5 days, 5 different themes, 5 different locations, and the kids will spend like 2 hours a day in different places doing these activities.
Right.
So it's all going to get them more connected with nature, and plus improve their own skills, like even outdoor skills, photography skills, art.
Oh, nice.
There's different things happening in that. Then we have like we've got farming activities, farm workshops. Because of the monsoon, it's time for fireflies also.
Right. I in fact did witness some over the last weekend, and it was simply astounding. It was something else altogether. They literally put up a light show in the night, and that was so cool. And this is just, I think it was sort of, the light show was a harbinger of giving us a message that the rains will be here anytime soon. And to witness that was simply beautiful. Beautiful. So
the fireflies need darkness, they need moisture, they need food to eat. So we have to think of this kind of environment. If we have that environment for them, then the fireflies will automatically come there. But if we start removing it, if we have too much light in these places, if there's too many manicured lawns, then you won't find any fireflies over there. The wild areas, they have those fireflies. There's a few secret spots in Delhi which I know of, so I take people over there. And we keep it a secret until the workshop, because we don't want that place to get overcrowded, and we don't want people to take fireflies back home, basically. Some people want to take it home to show it to their friends, but
don't do that. I know it all looks cool and all that, but that's not something we're supposed to do. Whatever we have in
ask them what you're going to feed them, because they don't know.
Supposed to be a piece of museum, or to be resting on your furniture or your fancy table. It's something to be left as they are. You're supposed to go be with them in an environment that is made by them, and just witness it in its pure form. Please do that. You must go after this workshop he's talking about, where you get to see fireflies. It'll change your life. It'll literally change your life. So don't forget to look up www.ndns, which is New Delhi Nature Society, which is run by Verhaen Khanna. Verhaen, thank you so much for your time, and all the very best. Keep up all the good work you're doing.
Thank you so much, Annie. It's great to hear from you always. Looking forward to your talk.
Absolutely. Afternoons with Annie. This was Green is Cool, a lovely segment. I mean, I call it lovely because I really love it. And this is something that I'm completely dedicated to. Conversations around nature, about environment, about just kind of keeping it green. Back to music.
Verhaen has been teaching people to hug trees. He says lives have changed after this. From children to adults to seniors to just everybody he's met. They write back to him. They tell him about their experience. They also tell him about how things have changed, perspectives have changed, and their conscious mind has also changed towards mindful living. How cool is that? To follow him, of course, it's ndns.in. You just have to go after the New Delhi Nature Society. That's what you've got to go after, to be a participant in the ton of in the numerous workshops that he has lined up for you, in case you haven't still learned to love and hug trees. Well, that was Green is Cool, a special that I do every Tuesday is to continue the conversation around sustainability. With that, I've come to the end of my show. I'm leaving you with Maniac by Macklemore and Binza. We'll be back tomorrow for a conversation with Luke Coutinho, who is a lifestyle disease expert, author, and the founder of the You Care initiative. In fact, he's also come up with a new book that I will be talking about tomorrow. Till then, stay safe, stay green, stay loved.
Last time on the No